We're joined this morning by Val Litwin. He is a candidate and the president of the BC Chamber of Commerce. Good morning to you, Val.
Hey, good morning, Stephen. How are you?
Very well. Glad to have you this morning. The BC Liberal Party was in power for 16 years, from 2001 to 2017. And in the 4 years since it was defeated, the party and its MLAs, I think it's fair to say, seem to have struggled to find their footing in opposition. What shared vision do you think the Liberal Party needs to unite behind?
Yeah, it's a great question. Well, I think I've been saying on the campaign trail, Stephen, that we all know what it's like when we open our computer. We get that little prompt in the top right-hand side of our screen that says it's time to download the new operating system, but we always click remind me later. And the BC Liberal Party, I think, has just been clicking remind me later on the new political operating system they need to download for too long. So all I'm saying to people and what I'm saying to this party is we can be competitive again, we can be relevant again, and we can become a modern party if we embrace fiscal responsibility as much as we do social and environmental awareness. And it's a simple formula, but that is what I'm bringing to this race, and that's my vision for the party, to renew.
And when you say embrace fiscal responsibility, what does that mean specifically?
Yeah, so I mean, look, Stephen, you'll know I was the former CEO of the BC Chamber of Commerce. Being an entrepreneur, I was also an executive in healthcare for a period of time. So I appreciate that when we have a competitive environment here where businesses can thrive, we have the ability to invest in people and communities. So for me, I would say I'm very much about we need to drive a competitive agenda here in BC and be responsible with taxpayers' money so we can make those investments in people and community. So for me, fiscal responsibility is intimately connected to the social environmental consciousness piece, because as we saw this past year with all the natural disasters, climate change is just one example, is expensive. So if we're not being careful about taxpayer dollars and how we spend them, where we invest them, we are not going to be making progress on all these fronts, and we have to.
From your perspective, what message did voters send your party in the 2020 election when just 28 Liberal MLAs were elected? That was 13 fewer than in the previous election.
Yeah, Stephen, I mean, they sent a signal loud and clear to the party that we're not relevant anymore. So as one of the younger candidates in this race and someone who's coming from outside the political matrix, I bring a vision to modernize the party. And whether it was building companies from scratch as an entrepreneur or stepping into old school business organizations like the BC Chamber of Commerce and breathing new life into them, my track record is all about engaging people, working with the newest technology to serve customers and people, and frankly, listen better. And I think that's where the BC Liberal Party lost their way, was connecting with people. You know, as the CEO of the BC Chamber of Commerce, my job was to be in a different community each week. I was representing 36,000 members from all over this province. I had to walk its main streets. I had to talk to the business people on the ground and find out what was keeping them up at night. If we get back to that, Stephen, and if we open up our nominations process, we will invite and welcome new people into this party.
How do you bring everyone, because the Liberal Party, the BC Liberal Party, has a range of members, and we've heard a lot of Liberal MLAs and supporters, and you just talked about it yourself, the renewal of the party. You need to broaden the base, you need to modernize the party, but really the NDP of this party is based on a sometimes tenuous coalition between, I suppose, center-right and centrist voters. How do you expand that tent with upsetting that balance of ideologies?
So we've always been a big tent party. We can continue to be a big tent party, but I actually think we lost the way in talking to people and being relevant as a political offering. So let me tell you exactly what I mean by that. The British Columbians I'm talking to now are frustrated that they have to park their vote with either an environment party, a people party, or a business party. That doesn't work for people anymore. They see their issues as all connected. And I think the value of a big tent party is that we can speak to the most center track people. And the opportunity for the BC Liberal Party is to take that history of fiscal responsibility that I think they have done very well for this province in many ways. But now let's step into the future and lean into some of those social environmental issues that are so important to people that they don't see separate from the economic issues anymore. If we do that, and if we open up our nominations process to welcome in more women, more diverse candidates, we will succeed in 2024.
In the televised debate on Tuesday night, you, like other candidates, took it to Kevin Falcon for, well, I guess you insinuated that there was some membership abuse within Falcon's ranks, because 6 out of 7 candidates have all complained about the procedure, with the exception of Kevin Falcon. So he's clearly the target of this. He also happens to be the front runner. Is there actual evidence that anything has been mishandled in this election so far, or in this process of signing up members so far?
So what we've seen, and we've sent a letter to the party on this, is there are thousands of non-compliant members in the system. We have not pointed the finger at anyone, Stephen, but we have sent a very firm letter to the party saying you have to scrutinize these members, you have to audit them and tell us what is going on here. The reason this is so important, Stephen, is because I think this party, from a brand perspective, has been challenged with its transparency and accountability and how it deals with its problems and how it communicates them to the public. So my question was really about, how as a party are we going to push ourselves into the future and become a modern and relevant political organization by being accountable to the public? And when there's a problem, look, we have to open the doors and say, we've spotted the issue, but we're dealing with it, and we're going to report back to you as a public, because people demand that now from companies and political institutions.
A final question, and this is the job interview question. You are one candidate in a field of 7. What separates you from the others?
Yeah, terrific. I think to win in 2024, Stephen, we need a leader leading the BC Liberal Party who has spent as much time building businesses and balancing budgets as they have serving communities and people. And I've worked in healthcare, I've been a social enterpriser, and for the last 10 years, I've been in the not-for-profit public policy space, working for small business people and communities and sending their voices to Victoria and Ottawa. It's my life's purpose, Stephen. So that's why I'm in this race. I'm here to create a better business climate and a better climate agenda for BC. And I hope everyone will vote for Val on Feb 3rd.
All right. Val, great to hear you this morning. Thank you for taking the time with us.
Really appreciate it. Thanks, Stephen.
Okay, you take care.